Hi, this is Chad Cason, and thank you for completing our Medicare survey. Medicare can be complicated, and if you're like most people, all of the Medicare choices can be overwhelming, and it's just hard to know where to begin. So I created this video to help make it easier for you to understand how Medicare works and what your coverage options are. So in this video, what we're going to cover original Medicare, the 4 parts of Medicare, your 2 coverage options. So if you want more coverage than just what original Medicare provides, you have 2 ways of doing that: Medicare Supplement or Medicare Advantage, and we're going to go over that. What does Medicare cover? What is a Medicare Supplement plan and how to compare? What is a Medicare Advantage plan and how to compare? Part D prescription drug plans, and important enrollment dates. So just a little bit about me. Again, my name is Chad Cason, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been licensed since 2010, married with 2 beautiful little boys there. Currently licensed in 15 states. You can see a few of them right there. And again, been an independent broker agent since 2010. So a few benefits that I offer, basically non-biased. So I work for you. My goal is just to help show you everything that's available and guide you to what's going to be the best option and coverage options for your situation. I'm an advisor on the ground. I'm in the trenches. I do this every single day with people and guiding them on their Medicare choices. And so I know what's going on in the marketplace, that sort of thing. We do annual reviews every year to make sure you have the right coverage. And there's no cost for my help. My service is free to you. So here are the Medicare basics. You really have 4 parts of Medicare. Part A is your hospital insurance. Part B is your medical insurance, so anything non-hospital related. Part C is Medicare Advantage. These types of plans combine the Part A, the Part B, and sometimes the drug coverage all in one, kind of like HMOs and PPOs, and we'll talk about that. And then Medicare Part D, which is the prescription drug coverage. All right, so basically you have 2 ways of getting your Medicare coverage. And so the first step is to decide how you want to get your coverage. So original Medicare is referred to as Medicare Part A, Medicare Part B, Part A being your hospital insurance, Part B being your medical insurance. So if you have Part A and Part B, you'll have 80% coverage of all of your hospital medical expenses, medical, anything under Part B being anything non-hospital related. Okay, so that's what original Medicare is. And then step 2 would be to decide if you want to add a Medicare supplement plan to that, or a Medigap insurance plan, and then a prescription drug plan. That would be the last step, and that's basically that's the first option that you have there: Part A, Part B, Medicare supplement plan, and then a drug plan, Part D. That's one way of doing it. Or you can get a Medicare Advantage plan, which is Part C, like an HMO or a PPO. Typically, it will combine the Part A, the Part B, and usually the drug coverage all in one. So, and really what happens is if you join a Medicare Advantage plan, you're agreeing to get all of your Part A and Part B benefits provided directly to you through the Advantage plan, not through original Medicare anymore. Okay, so if you enroll into a Medicare Advantage plan, you will get those benefits provided to you through the Advantage plan and not original Medicare. All right, so let's talk about Medicare Part A. So you're eligible for Medicare Part A at age 65. There's no premium or cost for Part A as long as you've worked for 10 years and you've paid into the Medicare taxes and that sort of thing. It works with any hospital that accepts Medicare nationwide, no networks. Your Medicare benefits will restart after you are out of the hospital for 60 consecutive days. So basically the way that Part A works, it's on a per benefit period or per occurrence type basis. And so if over here on the right, you can see what an inpatient hospital stay would cost. So the Part A hospital deductible, which changes annually, that is again a per occurrence or per benefit period deductible, and that would basically cover days 1 through 60, and then days 61 through 90, there's a set copay you would pay as well, and then Medicare would pay the rest. And then you can see you have some lifetime reserve days with a copay each. There's no maximum out of pocket or cap with original Medicare. So if you don't have a supplemental plan or any other kind of coverage, then every time you go into the hospital, if it's separated by 60 days, you could end up having to pay these charges again. And so if you have a supplemental plan, typically it'll cover 100% of all of these expenses for you under Part A. And Medicare Part B, this is going to basically cover anything that is non-hospital related. Okay, so again, you're eligible at age 65. However, if you have other coverage through an employer, that sort of thing, you can delay the Part B without any penalty. There is a premium for Part B, so most people will pay a premium for Part B, and that is there is a standard amount each year that it's set at, but again, based on your income, it could be more or less. And again, No Networks works with any doctor or facility that accepts Medicare nationwide. Now, the Medicare Part B deductible, not as high as the hospital deductible, and it's only a calendar year deductible, meaning once it's paid, it's done for the year. Everything above that, Medicare would pay 80% after you hit the deductible, and then you would be responsible for the other 20% in addition to a potential excess charge if your doctor accepts Medicare but maybe doesn't accept what Medicare reimburses them as full payment. They can balance bill you up to 15%. Again, no maximum out of pocket or cap with original Medicare. So that 20%, there's you can pay that. There's no cap on that. However, again, if you have other coverage like a Medicare supplement plan, it could possibly cover that deductible, and again, all of that 20% for you and those excess charges as well. So let's talk about Medicare supplements. They're also known as Medigap plans. So a couple important things here. You must have Medicare Part A and Part B. You will pay a monthly premium for your Medigap policy in addition to the Part B premium that you pay to Medicare. It cannot include prescription drug coverage. You have to buy a standalone drug plan, which is Part D. And costs vary by company and policy, and they may go up as you get older, okay? So guaranteed coverage. So when you turn 65 or you first enroll into Medicare Part B, so once you're 65 and your Medicare Part B has started for the very first time, it triggers a 6-month open enrollment period where you can buy any Medicare supplement plan without answering any health questions. After 6 months, insurance companies can ask health questions and could decline your application if they want to, so it's not guaranteed. All right, so it's important to make that decision right when you're getting that Part B for the first time and decide on which supplement plan that you want to go with if that's the direction you're leaning. Again, if you have original Medicare Part A and Part B and a Medicare supplement plan, there's no networks, so you can keep your doctors accepted at any doctor hospital facility that accepts Medicare nationwide. And then these are the Medicare supplement plans are standardized coverage. So and insurance companies can only sell you a standardized plan, meaning the benefits of whatever plan you're comparing, either, for example, A, B, C, D, F, G, so let's take G, for example. If you're comparing G amongst 10 different insurance companies, the benefits of the plan G and how it pays with Medicare will be the same at every company that sells it, the only difference being the rates. And as you can see here, here's a chart of the Medicare supplement plans that exist and that are for sale, and I've kind of highlighted 3 of the more popular ones. Plan F is in Frank, G is in George, N is in Nancy, and you can see on the left side the benefits and how the plan pays with the percentage there. And if you kind of look there at F, G, and N, for Part A, you're going to have 100% coverage. So if you have Medicare Part A, Medicare Part B, and if you add a Medicare Supplement Plan F, or not, you buy a Plan G or Plan N, so you can't have all 3, but if you, whatever one you decide, you'll have 100% coverage under Part A. So if the Plan F, the G, and the N all pay exactly the same, if you go to a hospital, you have 100% coverage. The difference with these plans is for your Part B services. So as you can see, Plan F, 100% all the way down except that very last column, they're all 80%. So Plan F basically covers 100% of the Medicare Part A coinsurance, the Medicare Part B 20% coinsurance, blood, Part A hospice, skilled nursing facility, Part A deductible, Part B deductible, excess charges, so everything. And then as you can see, Plan G, as you go down the column, it does everything that the F does. It just doesn't pay that Part B deductible for you. That's the only difference in those 2 plans. You would be paying that Part B deductible yourself if you have a Plan G with everything above that being covered at 100%. And then on the Plan N, again, hospital coverage is all the same. Under Part B, you'll still pay that Part B deductible yourself. In addition, it does not cover excess charges, which if you just can confirm that your Part B providers accept Medicare's full payment, you will not have to deal with the excess charges. But there is, for the Plan N, there is a potential copayment. So if you look over on the right there, you'll see that Plan N pays 100% of the Part B coinsurance except for a copayment of up to $20 for some office visits and up to $50 copayment for an emergency room visit that doesn't result in an inpatient admission. Okay, and so right here you can kind of just see a chart here as, you know, with Plan F, G, and N, and just kind of what the average increases can be, you know, each year with these plans. Plan F being the Cadillac plan covering 100% everything, it's going to have the highest rate increases typically each year, followed by, you know, some of the other plans. But if we're looking at the F, the G, and the N, the Plan G and the Plan N are very, very stable, typically in the neighborhood of 3 to 6%, somewhere in that range per year on your increase. And really that's the reason why we typically recommend a Plan G over a Plan N, because you can really have most of what Plan F offers. You take on a little out-of-pocket cost responsibility, and your premiums will remain a lot more stable over the years. All right, so this is what an outline of coverage looks like. And so this just has the Plan G and Plan N kind of side by side here. And I pulled this from an insurance company. And you can see basically the services on the left. And this just kind of breaks down that other chart I was showing you on the other slide, a little bit more detail here. But you can see kind of what Medicare pays for hospitalization, and then what Plan G would pay if you have that, and then what your responsibility would be. And then on the Plan N, what the Plan N pays, and then what you would pay. And so you can see that Plan G and Plan N are going to pay that deductible for you as many times as needed in a given year, in addition to the copays for the days 61 through 90 and 90 after. Okay. Skilled nursing facility, you must meet Medicare's requirements, including having been in a hospital for at least 3 days and entered a Medicare-approved facility within 30 days after leaving the hospital. So as you can see, the first 20 days in a skilled nursing, Medicare is going to cover everything. And so, you know, Plan G won't pay, or Plan N would not pay there, and you would not pay. But then after that, days 21 through 100, you can see that Medicare will pay everything but a set copay, and then Plan G and Plan N would pick up the remaining days at 100%, so you would have nothing out of pocket for your skilled nursing. And as you can see, blood, the first 3 pints, hospice care, all of that is covered as well. And then for your Part B services, so that was Part A, and for your Part B services, looking just at the Plan G and the Plan N here again, Medicare is not going to pay until that deductibles hit. So, you know, if you have a Plan G or a Plan N, you'll have to pay the Part B deductible yourself first, and then the Plan G, the Plan N would kick in and pay how it's supposed to pay. So Plan G, generally 20%, Plan N, generally 20%, but again, you may have those copays. And then, of course, on the excess charges on Plan N, if you can just confirm that your Medicare Part B provider, so anything that's non-hospital related, just those providers, just confirm with them that they do accept assignment and that they do accept Medicare's full payment, and you're not going to have to worry about those excess charges. And again, Medicare supplement plans, the easiest way on how to compare a Medicare supplement plan, if you're looking, again, the benefits and how the plan is going to pay with each company is going to be the same across the board. The only difference is the rates. So what we're looking for is a reputable company with a good track record in your area that has really the best rate for the plan that we're looking at, okay? As far as Medicare Advantage and Part C plans, again, you're kind of leaving the protections of original Medicare. You're agreeing to get your Part A and Part B, that 80% hospital medical coverage provided to you, not directly from Medicare anymore, but through the insurance company, okay? And so all of those plans, yes, they all cover what Medicare would pay under Part A and Part B, but as far as the other 20% goes and that sort of thing, they all can vary as far as what your out-of-pocket costs are if you go to a hospital, what the copays are, what the max out-of-pocket is on the plan. Is this doctor in the network? You know, what are the total out-of-pocket costs? And the coverage can change each year as far as, you know, the Medicare Advantage plan that you're on. Unlike Medicare supplements, the benefits remain the same each year. On Medicare Advantage, the plans can change each year. So Part D, so you can get your Medicare prescription drug coverage one of two ways, either a standalone Part D drug plan, or you can get your drug coverage through a Medicare Advantage plan, as we talked about. So they may have a monthly premium and an annual deductible. It's really going to depend on the way the plan's set up on how that deductible is applied. Prescription drug benefits work off of a calendar year, so January 1st through December 31st, and the plans do use a formulary, which is just the list of the drugs covered by the plan. And what we would do is look up your specific drug list, and we can take that drug list and sort it with all of the drug plans available in your area to find you the plan that's going to be the most cost effective for you based on your drug list. But most of the plans, they're going to place the drugs into tiers. So like tier 1, tier 2, typically being your generics. And then as you get up to tier 3, 4, and 5, your more expensive brand name, that sort of thing. So there's going to be a different copay or co-insurance associated. And sometimes the deductible, if there is one on the drug plan, it may only apply to the higher tiers. So you may not even pay the deductible if you're just taking a couple of lower tier drugs. So, that's each plan's a little different. And we would talk about that when we're looking at the coverage. So you're going to have prior authorization, quantity limits on some of the plans with certain prescriptions, and we can kind of talk about that. And then, of course, step therapy, that does exist as well with these plans. And so, again, it can require you to try one or more similar lower cost drugs before the plan will cover the prescribed drugs. So the good thing about the drug benefit or the Part D drug plans is that you can change your drug plan each year. So whatever you go with originally, those benefits are going to change each year. The drug plans change each year, just like the Medicare Advantage plans. So it's really important to review your drug coverage each and every year, and because your list may change and get updated, and the plans change and all this kind of stuff. So it's very, very important, and we'll do that every year for you as well. Review your drug plan, update it, and give you our recommendation. Okay, so in this slide, this just kind of breaks down a Medicare Part D drug plan a little bit further. Again, in the initial coverage level of the drug plan, you're going to pay your copays and co-insurance, and the plan's going to pay the remaining prescription costs until you hit a certain amount. So for in 2019, this amount is going to be $3,820. And so once you and the insurance company have paid in, $3,820, you would be moved into the coverage gap, where you will pay more. So when you're in the coverage gap, there's a temporary limit on what the drug plan will cover for drugs. Okay, not everyone will enter the coverage gap. All right, so and these amounts can change each year, but in 2019, Medicare will pay 63% of the price for generic drugs during the coverage gap, and you'll pay the remaining 37% up until you hit another threshold. And for brand name, you'll pay 25%. And then once you hit that true maximum out of pocket, you're moved into the catastrophic phase of the drug plan, where you'll be paying a much lower set cost for your generic and brand name prescriptions at that point. And then again, it would reset each year. So these plans, change each year. So it's really, really important when we do our annual reviews to update your drug lists and make sure everything is accurate, and then review all of the upcoming plan years drug plans to make sure that each year you have the correct drug plan for your situation, for your medications, so that you're saving the most money possible. All right, so let's talk about some important enrollment dates. So regarding Medicare supplements, most insurance carriers will let you lock in a price for your Medicare supplement plan up to 6 months before your Part B effective date. Okay, once your 6-month open enrollment period ends, you may have to answer health questions. And this means you could pay higher premiums or be denied coverage altogether. So really, if your Part B effective date, you have 6 months on either side of it to pick up a Medicare supplement plan, any plan that you want, with no health underwriting. But after that point, they can use health underwriting. So if you know you want a Medicare supplement plan, that's the route you want to go, even though it's 6 months prior, you can lock in that rate. You don't even have to have your Medicare card yet or any of that information. The insurance companies will let you do that at age 64 and a half. And some other important enrollment dates that you can see here. So enrolling into Medicare and how that works. So original Medicare, you can do that online through Social Security. You can sign up for Part A and Part B there. You can begin doing that 3 months before your 65th birthday month if you want it to start on the first day of the month you turn 65. So if your birthday is April 23rd, your Medicare coverage, Part A, Part B, and any other coverage you get, a supplement plan or drug plan or anything else, would all start on the first day of that month that you turn 65. So if you want everything to start then, you need to have it all going 3 months, 3 months prior to that so that it can start on the first of the month that you want. But you do have the month you turn 65 and up to 3 months after you turn 65 to get all of your Part A and your Part B set up, or drug coverage, advantage coverage, whatever you want, without any kind of penalties or anything. So again, you can enroll into Medicare Part A and Part B via the Social Security website, in person at your local Social Security office, or call the Social Security number, or if you're a member of a railroad retirement board, then you would call that number to pick up your Part A and your Part B. If you're already receiving Social Security benefits before you turn 65, your enrollment is automatic and you should get your Medicare card in the mail 3 to 5 months before your birthday. All right, so that basically wraps it up. Again, my name is Chad Cason. My telephone number is 1-888-901-4870. That's a direct line right to me, or you can email me at chad@lifelonginsurance.com with any questions you have. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.